This is the time in the program when a small business opens up, shares its challenges with us, and most importantly, the opportunities within those challenges. It is a learning experience for every small business. Audrey D'Orazio with Pro Mortgage Group joins Dan Long from the Sandbox and me. Thank you both so much for being with us. And always, we would automatically assume that the mortgage industry is facing the challenges because it's part of the overall housing industry. But there are some unique challenges that you've identified. Why don't you lead us through those?
Yes, I think a couple of unique challenges. One is probably the perception that there's no money out there and no one can get a loan. I hear that quite often, that if you have the top 800 credit score that you still can't get money, which is not true. Even people that have a few challenges with their credit can still get homes, first-time buyer programs out there. So there are ways to get money, and there are ways to be able to purchase homes.
Good news to hear, and that definitely flies in the face of what a lot of people would assume about the industry.
Well, the interesting thing about the mortgage industry is there's a lot less players now. What kind of, how much is that, have those numbers dropped? How many people are doing mortgages compared to 5 years ago? Is it down 80%, 20%?
Oh, I would say it's 50 to 70%.
Okay, so there's fewer people, right? Obviously there's fewer mortgages being done, but that pool has shrank down. So what I really found interesting with Audrey is they've had to be more creative. You know, 800 credit score or 600 credit score, there's a lot more paperwork to be done, right? A lot more disclosures that have to be done by the government, right? They came in and put a lot of these restrictions in place. What has that done for your, how are you being more creative? How are you working with that?
Yes, I think just being in the business for so long, I've had my business since '97, so just the experience of knowing how to just tweak something a little bit better, having the knowledge, also being a broker banker. If you come to me, I can deal with a lot of different banks, which means that my guidelines might be more lenient than another person's guidelines because I'm not dealing with just one underwriter or one bank. And so I'm able to be more creative, give them a few more options, not just give them one option. I think that is where our specialty is, you know, I just don't give them what they ask for. I give them what they ask for plus a few more options of what they could do.
I hear you saying that you're able to find a closer fit for the person because of the flexibility that you have.
Yes.
And that's a huge aspect of the creativity.
And one of the things that she identified is, you know what, instead of being on the defense, we've really gone on the offense with our business. We're really moving forward with solutions, creativity, and small businesses, this is an important time to pick up great market share, right? If you can stay very resolute in what you're doing, being creative. She's had to thin down her staff a little bit, right? She's got her best people with her right now, and they're getting smarter. And in talking with Audrey, she's thinking, you know what, in about 3 to 5 years from now, I'm going to really grow this business. There's positive messages coming out. So that's been really nice.
Would you spend a moment on that, going on the offense piece and exactly what that means for your business? That's one area where the small business owner who's watching this can say, okay, how do I go on the offense?
Well, in my business, there have been a lot of challenges, especially as of January 1st of this year. A lot more federal regulations that they perceive as protecting the client, which means that a lot more paperwork, a lot more verification of Social Security numbers, a lot more verification of income documentation. We document that with the IRS now. We document your Social Security number with the Social Security office. So a lot of those things can slow down the process of getting a loan. Where before in the industry, when it was booming and everyone and their brother was in the business, you just pretty much had to have a pay stub or very low documentation and a phone call to the employer saying that they've worked. Now it's a lot of the different paperwork. So going on the offense is, you know what, we know we're going to need those on every loan and those take days to get. So what we do is we get those ahead of time. So we already know right away that we're getting all that information and we know that we're going to have to document it. We're not going to try to, I guess, slim down the file. We're just going to get everything we possibly can. And also, I think the biggest thing is communication, is letting your borrower in the very first time you meet with them face to face that this is how the process works. and you are going to be able to get this loan, and I'm going to help you get this loan.
Step them through the process.
Right.
And we're running out of time, but the BBB in me lets folks know that they need to pay close attention to the privacy aspect, and that's where your accreditation with the BBB is so important, because literally Audrey signed a document with us saying that she's going to safeguard the privacy of folks, and when they're turning over this kind of information, they need to be sure and research and find folks like Audrey to do the work, because you're talking about some significant personal information that's out there now.
Yes, definitely.
And it's very important to be careful with that. So Audrey, thank you so much for being with us, sharing that information.
Thank you.
Pro Mortgage Group is the name of the business. Audrey, thanks again. Dan, as always. And when we come back, 3 challenges from this week's show that you can put into action in your business when business at its best returns.